Hello everyone, and welcome to my Y and Our American TV Show official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the Abbott mansion, Diane is carrying heavy bags down the stairs. Tracy assumes she's going on a last-minute getaway. Diane explains she's actually going at Jack's request. He asked her to move out tonight. Tracy's jaw drops when Jack joins them. Everything seems weird to his sister. Jack claims it really is that horrible. All they do is fight. His sister believes they are only having a tough patch and reminds them of how in love they were a month ago. The couple describes their latest public meltdown. Diane refuses to defend herself anymore. Her spouse confesses that what they have is a lie. She's ruined his heart and their marriage. He thinks they should seek an annulment. Diane insists she loves him, and Tracy reminds them that they made vows to love and honor one another. There must be a way to work this out. Diane believes there's no way to remedy this. Jack glances at his nails and tells his wife that he hopes she doesn't stop by the office. Once Diane is gone, Jack thinks he's well rid of her. The marriage was only a means to a goal for her. His sister thinks he's harmed. People fight and it gets ugly, but you don't just toss a marriage away. Jack reminds Tracy that she had warned him about Diane not so long ago. Tracy adds it was before she could see the love between them, and what a miracle their reunion was. Jack knows his sister creates love stories out of thin air. Tracy insists this is real, but he claims that his wife is everything others warned him against. Kyle arrives at the Abbott house and Jack tells his son his marriage is finished, and he's asked Diane to leave Abbott. Kyle assumes she's no longer co-CEO and isn't sure how to feel. Jack assumes he's happy to watch his parents' relationship disintegrate. Kyle confesses that they had it coming. He wonders what prompted the dramatic shift in his father's perspective, but then swears he doesn't care. Tracy tells Kyle he can't talk about his parents like this. Kyle thinks his parents don't care about his sentiments and vice versa. They've deceived him. He tells his aunt to remain clear of them and walks out. Tracy hugs Jack and tells him how sorry she is. She can't fathom what went so wrong so soon. Jack believes he was living in denial, but his sister feels he could see the truth about Diane before the rest of them. He knew in his heart that she was sincere. Tracy refuses to think that they were all fools. Diane really did change. Pouring himself some water, Jack says his worries started when he observed how she responded to Kyle stealing from Abbott. She was so harsh, as though her son was a regular thief. Diane wouldn't even allow him to argue that part of the fault was on them. Tracy advises him to let the dust settle before anything happens that can't be undone. Jack advises her to stay out of it. It's much deeper than she thinks. Lucy is with Daniel at society, hoping they could go home. He prods her to eat. Lucy hasn't been able to eat since she lost her mommy. Daniel wants to safeguard her from what the cops find. When Lucy says she can handle it, she reminds him that it's just the two of them. Her father thinks there is a limit between keeping her up to date and exposing her to every detail. Lucy complains that she has the right to hear. He explains he's taken a decision to keep her safe, and she needs to go along with it. Things will get insane until there is another suspect. He reminds her that they know he's innocent, but the cops don't. That's why he's sending her to Vancouver to go on tour with Danny. Lucy disagrees, but he insists. Things are going to get a whole lot worse for me before they get better. He threatens. Lucy asks if she's expected to remain away forever. Daniel's sure the truth will come out eventually. Lucy swears she can handle this, but he believes it's his obligation to protect her. Summer interrupts and Lucy confesses her dad wants to send her away. That could be fun, adds Summer. Her niece thinks she would only be worried. Summer says sending her away might not be the best choice. She can get more apprehensive if she is being kept in the dark. Daniel says he'll tell her what she needs to know. Lucy wants to be there to support her dad. If he sends her away, it will feel like she's lost him too. Daniel assures her that this is only temporary and she will not lose him, as he believes his idea is the proper and backs this up. Christine has the plane ready to transport Lucy to Danny. Leaping up, Lucy announces she needs a minute and walks off. Summer wants to go after her, but her brother tells her not to. After having talked to the cops, Christine concedes that the case against Daniel isn't as poor as she imagined. Kids and the media can be spiteful and will traumatize Lucy when they find out what he's accused of. Daniel appreciates her for coming. It's giving him a glimpse of optimism. Summer wanders off and Daniel asks Christine whether the cops found anything at the flat that will help get him out of this mess. Christine informs Daniel that, first, he has to tell her his side of the story. Then she will try to figure out a method to pull him out of this nightmare. Summer discovers Lucy pacing outside society and advises that it might be a good idea for her to stay with Danny. If she stays there, her dad will be so worried about her that will just make things worse for him. Summer informs the kid that her dad won't be alone. She and Phyllis will have his back. Diane goes to the athletic club bar and sadly orders a drink. She nearly cries up as she pulls off her ring. Kyle storms in and demands the truth. Did she ever genuinely love him and his father, or were they just tools she used to get what she wanted? She asks why it's okay for him to want power and success, but not her. She craved love, both with Jack and the kind of love they had when Kyle was tiny. Diane claims her love for her son never faded, not even when she cut him loose from Abbott. When Sarah and Jack reunited, she fell for him harder than she thought was possible. Finally, she believed she got something right. Her love for Kyle and Jack was sincere, and it always will be. Kyle doesn't believe it. His mom claims she never planned for it to play out this way. At her front door, Sharon throws her arms around Nick and tells him she's tried to keep it up but can't. It's just too much. As she pants, he walks her to the couch and pushes her to take a breath and relax while he fetches her some tea. Before he can do that, Sharon tells him she's a terrible person and can't live with herself after all the agony she's caused. He insists she's kind and compassionate. Sharon says she's other things too. He's not shocked that she's unsettled after everything she's been through. In her brain, she struggles with herself on what to tell him before asking for a cup of tea. As Nick goes off to the kitchen, Sharon stands and leans on the mantel. Nick returns with tea and she tells him how much it means that he shows up. He tells her that she's no burden and can tell him anything. Nick wants to help and tells Sharon she can trust him. Sharon contemplates if she can risk telling him what she's done. After she eats something, Nick tells her how much he and the kids want her to be happy. She doesn't need to feel bad about leaning on them, but if they are going to assist, Sharon needs to open up. He promises to be there for her, no matter what. She glances around for Cameron. He's not there. "I need some air," she declares, racing for the door. Sharon and Nick head to the park. She says she has been feeling so caged up and is pleased she has a therapy session coming up. Nick reminds out he's there now and that she's been making serious claims about not being able to live with things. Again, he asks her to open up. She acknowledges that Daniel came by and said certain things he likely wouldn't have said if he wasn't swallowed up by sadness. That made her feel like a nasty person. She reveals that she went to see Heather the night she was slain and Daniel was keen to hear what they talked about. Nick admits that Phyllis already told him she went to meet Heather. Sharon wonders what else she said. Nick said she was all fired up and rambling. Sharon wants specifics. Nick admits that Phyllis thinks she killed Heather. Nick is sure that Phyllis is grabbing at straws and tries to soothe Sharon, stating no one will believe what his other ex thinks. When Sharon wonders if he thinks it was odd that she didn't notify the cops about going to see Heather, Nick answers he's confident it just slipped her mind. Sharon feels that Phyllis is just seeking for someone to blame. Anyone would do the same. He thinks that trying to pin a murder on someone is going further than most people would. He's convinced that Sharon would never do something like that. She tells him his support means a lot to her. Nick doesn't want any of this to reverse the progress she's made. That doesn't stop her from fretting. Sharon understands now where Daniel got the idea that she's responsible. Phyllis has been whispering. She states that she's starting to feel like she's the one being framed. Nick's convinced Phyllis will let this go. Sharon glances and thinks to herself that she needs to deal with Phyllis and halt this nightmare before it's too late. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comment below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time.